Y'all, I hope you are ready for the biggest FAFO snowball that just keeps on getting worse for Team Blue. Guys, add $11 billion more to the Democrat special interests and special little projects that have been just wiped out by Trump in the Office of Management and Budget. This entire thing has been hinging on one key component for the Blue Team Blue, and I'm going to show you in a second. This one is going to be one you want to send out because the backfire in the FFO is starting to lose its ability to describe what is happening to Team Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell, guys. As you get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, like I said, and you drop some chats over here and emojis because that is how we spread this message out. Guys, $11 billion. Not $10 billion, not $12 million, $11 billion more. It is literally like Trump is going, stand there while you take this. They say, and he slaps them again. Guys, like, this is painfully bad if you're on Team Blue. But if you're on Team Red, this is comical. What an amazing way to wrap up the week. All right, let's get right into this. There's a bunch of you guys here. I see the comments. I see the chats. I see the emojis. Thank you guys so much for spending the Friday wrap-up with me. Let's dive in. Of course, you can follow me on my X account, at Braden, LOA. Let's get into this, people. This one is nothing short of delicious. Okay. So this is really important to understand, and let me hear you in the comments in the chat over here if you remember what we've been talking about for about a week to a week and a half since the shutdown has gone on. It's all been about theater for 2026. The entire thing is about Democrat power. That's been the entire payoff. They're going to have a little bit of pain, but they're going to hopefully gain more seats in the House and take it back and basically stop Trump. That's the entire calculus. It's not hard. It's not advanced. It's very obvious. Well, the worst nightmare just happened. Look at this. Breaking. Panic is currently erupting among Democrats after a poll just released by CNBC found Republicans surged 4 points in the 2026 congressional ballot amidst the federal shutdown. It was D+5. It is now D+1. And I'm going to break all this down for you in a second. Democrats can't win the House with that number. Now, what does that mean in that little special last little segment? And that's not even counting redistricting. There's a lot to break down in this one. Okay, so let's get in here. If you guys are just now getting in here, of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, share with a friend whom you love, and let's keep on trucking to save this country. Listen to this. Here's the reason this is important. The generic ballot is a simple tool that pollsters throw out there and say, hey, if you had to choose, would you choose Republican or would you choose Democrat in the next election? It doesn't use name, doesn't use candidate, it just says generic. That's why it's called the generic ballot. Okay? In order for the Democrats to win, they have to have roughly +3 or above, which is why we covered the other clips we did earlier this week with Harry Enton from CNN saying that they're only +3, they should be +8 as they were prior. They're not. Something's wrong. Well, it's getting worse. They have to be +3 or more in order to make it a dead even because the entire generic ballot is biased simply because of the population distribution of different areas of the United States. It's very well known. But if this thing is a D+1 in the middle of a shutdown, guess what that means? That means Chucky Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are getting their butts handed to them. And now for the last little part right there. And that's not even counting redistricting. The redistricting is going on where it's going to have roughly, I think the number was like +7, something like that, 6 or 7 across the United States, with including the cancellation out of the bluer states when they do it too. Then you've also got the SCOTUS coming in with about +12 seats, giving the total roughly maybe about +24. Guys, when I say that all the signs are pointing to a red typhoon for the next, 10, 15, 20 years, I'm basing it on fact. I'm not basing it on my emotion and opinion. Like, everything I'm showing you is I try to build that case, right? And I always link everything in the description box. But that's what it's about. Surging 4 points from +5D to +1D. That is literally, that sounded wrong. That literally is a situation like DEFCON 1 for the Dems. Because the entire point of this shutdown was for them to inflict pain on the population and then try to blame Trump so they could pick up seats. If they're getting the pain from the shutdown itself and losing $11 billion more dollars, and they're not getting the polling bump, get freaking ready. It's about to cave in. Okay. Super chat from Kyle Beckman. Not on topic, but I wanted to say rest in peace to my favorite rifles being discontinued, the FN Scar. You know what? I think that's appropriate. I'm not Catholic, but if I was, I would do the sign of the cross. I think that's appropriate because the Scar was greatness. All right, let's keep on. Great super chat. Thank you very much. All right, let's keep on going. I'm loving the emojis in the chat, guys. Keep on going, baby. All right, as we continue on, let me show you the actual ballot, which is, again, this is coming from Emerson, and this is the other little wrinkle. Come here. I don't care about polling in general, okay? I fully believe vote like you're losing, and if you have that philosophy and mindset, you're never going to be disappointed. If you always feel like you're behind the 8 ball, you're going to work harder, so let's do it. That's my philosophy. However, it does give you a pretty good insight into what they're reporting and seeing trends across the board, which is why I use Real Clear Politics in all of our videos, and we're going to do a lot of it going forward as we get near the midterms. Emerson, this is a big sample size. Let me go back to it. Big sample size, and it's a left-leaning pollster, okay? Emerson is not a conservative pollster. It is a everyday liberal pollster. Everyone knows it. And they're showing it at Democrats +1, Republicans at even. That is a +1 bump, which is untenable if they want to achieve their goals. That's the whole point, okay? Now, let's keep on going. Thank you for the emojis in the chats. That is key to get these videos out further. All right, and now the big $11 billion Easter egg that we have to talk about before I get into all the fun articles where they've actually accumulated all of it in the New York Times. God, guys, oh, let me hear you in the comments on this. Breaking. In a huge FAFO moment, someone asked me, by the way, in the chat what FAFO is on a previous video, and that means F around and find out. Office of Management Budget Director Russ Vaught just halted $11 billion in projects to the blue cities of New York, San Francisco, Boston, and Baltimore. Just wait until I show you the districts by name of who they're going after. Guys, this is savage on a next level. Shutting down the government was a huge screw-up, and I just showed you the polling they were trying to chase, which kind of messed up. And here's the actual announcement of this guy straight up saying, yeah, we're taking all your cookies. Here you go, check this out. Oh my God, this is glorious. The Democrat shutdown has drained the Army Corps of Engineers' ability to manage billions of dollars in projects. The Corps will be immediately pausing over $11 billion in lower priority projects and considering them for cancellation, including projects in New York, San Francisco, Boston, and Baltimore. More information to come from the Army Corps of Engineers. Now, you remember, what did that Trump say? What did that guy say? Oh, yeah, that's right. He said we're going after Democrat programs, and now they have accumulated all of it. Look at this from the New York Times. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. And please send this stuff out because the notifications need Jesus at the end of this week. Trump targets Democratic districts by halting billions during shutdown. They put a graph. 2 weeks into the government shutdown, the Trump administration has frozen or canceled nearly $28 billion that had been reserved for more than 200 projects primarily located in Democratic-led cities, congressional districts, and states, according to an analysis by the New York Times. $28 billion of FAFO, Dems. Please shut down the government some more. You understand how bad this is if you're Hakeem Jeffries or if you're Chuck Schumer? You're going to keep the government going down in the hopes that your polling is going to go up, but your polling is actually getting worse and people are actually liking Republicans more during the shutdown, and you're losing $28 billion of your special pork projects. Sign me up for the next shutdown, because Trump's got them bent over a barrel, a pork barrel, if you so to speak. Let's keep on going, though. Here it is, $27.24 billion, and Republican districts, $738.7 million. They couldn't even crack $1 billion on Republicans. That's weird. Who would have seen that coming? Each of these infrastructure projects had received federal aid, sometimes after officials spent years pleading in Washington, that's all that pork special interest stuff that we all hate, only to see that money halted as President Trump has looked to push Democrats over the course of fiscal stalemate. Let me translate that for you. All the pork barrel spending and all the special interest spending and all that debt that we've accumulated for our own special projects that took us years and decades, Trump just comes in and says, no, we can't have it anymore because we shut down the government. Hold on, cue the slow clap. Great job, Chucky. God, I hope they shut down more. And this right here, oh, they got more graphs, guys. Look at it. This is amazing. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Total affected funding by congressional district. And those blue circles are where all the money's coming out of. Yeah. We've got Washington, California got a lot. Colorado picked up a little bit, right there in the middle of that. That's weird, right in the two cities. Minnesota caught some. Illinois caught a lot, weirdly enough. Maryland caught a lot. Looks like New York caught a lot. Massachusetts caught a lot. Vermont caught a lot. It's really like you don't want to mess with this guy. I'll tell you what, we should probably keep the government shut down just to make sure that we really get the polling numbers where we need to see. Guys, this is a cataclysmic event if you're on Team Blue. I mean, like, you're losing all your special pet projects. You're losing all these different districts and by person. I'm going to show you in a second. And then you got the polling, which I'll circle back to in a second. But the budgetary moves coincide with the president's public pledges to use the shutdown to slash spending favored by Democrats. It's like they walked into this, guys. He has described the federal stoppage as an unprecedented opportunity to make some cuts permanent. Please keep trying, Chucky. Your No Kings rally tomorrow where everyone's going to be dressed up like a public inflatable animal. Yeah, you do that. We'll do this. We'll see you on the other side. And this is the actual districts by individual that they actually marked down. Dan Goldman caught $17.84 billion out of his district. Danny Davis, Latifah Simon, Marilyn Strickland, Doris Matsui, Brad Sherman, Betty McCollum, Delia Ramirez, Joe Negus. Oh, that guy is a treat. That doesn't make me sad at all. And Cliff Bentz. Man, those are all blue. Hey, I want to know what's Dan Goldman doing in his life where he gets in the 10th district $18 billion. I don't know, asking for a friend. That's not the point of this. Here is the point of this. As we are going back to the top, you have now lost $28 billion in the most glorious FAFO backfire that you could ever say. And your big play, if you're on Team Blue, come here, this is important. The big play was, it's going to be all worth it in the end because we're going to take the House and we're going to get the generic polling up and everyone's going to see how mean the Republicans are because we're going to do a full court press and blame them for the shutdown even though we did it. Well, let's go back to the thing we opened the video with, and if you're still tuning in just now, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on because this is how you're winning. Democrats were +5 before the shutdown on the generic ballot. They are now +1. That actively means more Republicans are going to get elected if that number holds in a year from now. Holy crap. That's really all you can say. But I'm just saying, guys, I think shutdown should last forever. But I'm just a guy on the internet. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if I landed that plane. Let me see some planes over there in the chat. Thank you so much for the emojis. Thank you so much to you guys who are the veterans of this channel and also the newbies who have joined in the last month or so. You are all welcome as we march together towards freedom. I love each and every one of you, just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable, of course. And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.